What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Treachery Tarot here on the Mountain Witch Tarot channel. I'm your host, Sarah. I'm sick today. Please do overlook me. I'll try to cut out all the coughing and sneezing and sniffling. I filmed yesterday, had to scrap the videos because of that. So I'm just going to try to keep it under control. But bear with me. I wanted to get something posted for you guys. It's already Tuesday, April 8th. So just want to let you guys know, be on the lookout for sneezes and stuff. Anyway, before we get started, be sure to take a moment and click the like and subscribe button. If you haven't already, subscribe. Definitely stick around. We're going to do all kinds of cool tarot stuff here coming up soon. If you have any questions you want me to cover, feel free to leave those in the comments. I will add them into a video. We've got a couple that I'm going to try to add on to the end of this video if it doesn't get too long. I do have a whole playlist for the Trump regime, so if you like political tarot and you like readings like this, feel free to check those out. And timestamps will be provided in the description and in the comments as always, and these allow you to hop around from topic to topic covered in the video. Lastly, if you like the channel and you like what I do here and you want to be supportive, help out a little bit, hit the description box, check out some of my links. Would really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to talk about. Donald Trump is about to throw himself a $90 million birthday party on taxpayer money. I'm going to read the article to you because it'll just be easier than me rambling through it. So, U.S. President Donald Trump is planning a military parade through Washington, D.C. that will coincide with his birthday this summer, according to a news report. It's claimed that the event will mark the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army on June 14th, which also happens to be the date of Trump's 79th birthday. He tried this in his first term and they wouldn't let him do it. I don't know if you guys know that. He tried this once and they were like, no, absolutely not. He's going to try it again. We're going to find out today if he's going to get away with it this time. The first thing I want to know is, will Donald Trump still be around in time for this parade? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was going to get 3 cards, but I guess it's picking the cards for us. All right, we got the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles. Let's get one more card for the energy around Donald Trump on, what was the date of this? His birthday, June 14th. Will he even be around? It looks to me like, based on these 3 cards, I don't think that Donald Trump is not going to be around. What I do think is that Donald Trump is maybe not going to get to do this parade. If he does get to do it, it's not going to be exactly what he wants, because we have this card over here that says he has all these things and he is not happy with what he's being offered. It's like, well, you have something, he's not happy with the outcome of this. Now, as far as my question goes, these 2 cards don't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to pull another card to kind of clarify. Tarot, clarify these 2 cards for us. How does this fit into the scenario of Donald Trump's energy for his birthday? Now, it could be that he inflicts some type of detriment onto himself. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with this, is that maybe he brags publicly too much about this. Maybe it becomes too big of a public issue. Maybe it gets too much attention on it. That's kind of what it feels like, because, we have this stark difference here between the Swords and the Pentacles, and the Pentacles, of course, being like, him living his fancy life versus this cold, stark, barren wasteland of Swords. So let's get another card to kind of connect the energy. Greener pastures. Financially, I think that he could probably find a better way to spend the money. I don't know. Did I even just say that for Donald Trump? I don't know, guys. I'm sick. Bear with me. There's going to be too much attention brought to this, I think. Or too much criticism. And maybe he'll back off. Maybe he'll be there. Maybe he'll try to include himself in some small way. But I don't think it'll be as grandiose as he's hoping for. Let's see, give us another card to kind of like paint the picture of this situation. Don't do reverse cards. Yeah, so it looks like there is kind of this energy of, well, he shot his mouth off and now there's an argument or like some type of dispute about it. So I don't see it going off quite the way that he wants it to, which honestly kind of ruins the rest of my line of questioning. June 14th, Tarot. What can we expect on Donald Trump's birthday? Politically speaking, of course, but maybe even personal. With this energy, this is, I don't know if it's a specific person, but there is just an energy of frivolous versus frugal. And the Knight of Pentacles is a frugal person or frugal energy. So where is this frugal energy coming from, Tarot? Is this coming from a person? Queen of Cups. Interesting. Okay. Well, that doesn't tell us too much. This could very well be Democrat pushback. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's probably all of the blue, and I think that's probably why Tarot gave me that card, is blue Democrat. So they've got their back to this situation. So I think the Democrats might intervene, actually. Give us a little bit more about the Queen of Cups. So something in the past. What's in the past? Lots of pentacles coming out here. So Page of Pentacles. There's going to be some type of like, this is going to sound obvious. This is going to sound like another one of those duh moments. There's some kind of financial problem here. Tarot, what is the financial problem? The Hanged Man. Okay, so at some point, someone, and let's hope it's Donald Trump, probably won't be, someone's world is upside down and they're going to have to see things differently. Give us another card here, Tarot. Give us a little bit more detail, a little more information. I accidentally shuffled half of my deck upside down. That's why a lot of my cards are upside down. I'm going to stack this on top so you guys can see it. So it could just be an anxiety. It could be a worry. It could be something, again, going back to the Democrats. And I think, there'll be this situation of saying, like, who's ever done this before? What president has ever made this particular day about himself? It's a waste of taxpayer money. No one's ever done this. You need to be more frugal. You need to see this from a different point of view. I think, and the energy of stress and anxiety about it just kind of feeds into the whole original spread here, where it's like too much negativity, too much bad press on a maneuver like that. And I think, the public would probably be like, what is this? This, this is something that we see in dictatorships. I mean, there's so much can be said about that alone, but I think it's a little too overt. You know what I mean? A little too on the nose. Let's keep going here. See what else we can get. Gosh, there is really a monetary issue. Very much a financial problem. What is the financial problem, Tarot? Can you be more specific? Give us something concrete here. By June 14th, there'll be something that he will have done that maybe, like, gosh, is it going to cancel the whole thing? because now I'm kind of seeing more and more here about the bad press and the like his effect on yeah, we're gonna have a big financial problem by the point where this comes around. So I sat here for a second and just kind of took in the cards, and one thing that really stands out to me, and I think at the center of all of this energy, where we have pentacles, and then swords, I feel like there are opposing forces here. And with the frugal character facing the pentacle, I feel like there is a standoff at the center of this energy. I won't know, obviously, what this means until we get a little further down the road. Maybe we can revisit this. I do keep a blog where I kind of like revisit things that turned out to be true or accurate. But there is this energy of financial woe. The Knight of Pentacles, this frugal energy, his world is upside down. I know now that these cards are attached to these cards. It took me a minute of meditating to figure that out because I'm sick and I'm not like on my A game today. But the Knight of Pentacles he's experiencing like a problem, an issue. I don't want to say a punishment, but I feel like it's important to point out that with the Hanged Man, I keep thinking about the non-lethal punishment here. So there's something directly impacting this energy, this frugal monetary energy, which I think this is someone from the Democrat side kind of taking on. Do you see what I mean? Like there's like two groups facing each other here, and this energy stacked behind the Knight of Pentacles is really coming into view for me. Non-lethal punishment, the world is upside down, trying to get back to a point where things were better financially, versus this guy over here, the swords energy. And it's just going to be, there's going to be a fight over this. That's really, because here we have this energy where this side of the reading, like this guy doesn't care about poverty. He doesn't care about like ultimate demise. He's fine with it. It's beneath him. It doesn't register on his radar. And he's only looking at the prize at the center. So I think it'll be interesting. I think this parade may end up being kind of a fiasco a little bit. But then again, everything kind of is at this point in time with the Trump administration. So go figure. All right, let me clear the board and we will get another question. Let's try to get a couple of subscriber questions in here. So how about a reading concerning if Bernie Sanders could form a new political party? That's a good question. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. We'll see what Tarot has to say. Tarot, give us something on Bernie Sanders and any possibility of forming a new political party. I feel like Bernie is kind of his own party, like there's nobody quite like Bernie except maybe AOC. So we have the energy of the King of Pentacles. We have, so a financial, a dissatisfied feeling energy, and the Hanged Man. It honestly doesn't look good as a yes or a no, because we have this, I keep thinking gatekeeping finances, and then obviously people aren't happy with just the two choices, and there really is no third choice, despite what some of you might think there's no third choice. Jill Stein is a political groundhog who only comes out once every 4 years. Stop voting for her. Stop it. But at the same time, like, despite these two things, we have the Hanged Man, which is like, yeah, you could be seeing the world from a different perspective, and it would be nice to be able to see the world and the country specifically from a different perspective. But honestly, it's not a thing that can happen right now, mostly because of this gatekeeping financial blockage right in the center of the energy. All right, let's get another question. Okay, so here is an interesting question. And I missed this one because I've been sick and haven't uploaded. But April 5th events and April 20th. Now, I did a video on this yesterday. This is one of the videos I filmed that I had to scrap because I was just like coughing and sneezing and, sniffling and all that. I'm just going to keep this short. If you guys are worried about like the whole martial law thing, there's a rumor going around right now on the internet about Trump declaring martial law on April 20th. That's not going to happen. And I don't need to do tarot to know that. It's not a thing. Like the, whatever the name of that executive order was from the 1800s, the law that he, based that executive order off of, I can't remember right off. It doesn't have anything to do with martial law. Those are two completely separate functions. I feel like I was actually a little more articulate about this in yesterday's video, but I say this, but the caveat is that with Trump, you never know. You never know what he's going to do. He's, he's Trump. So, but as far as declaring martial law, if it happens, if he tries that, it won't be because of this. Let's put it that way. But let's kind of just ask anyway, like, is there a chance? Because I got a pretty good answer with tarot yesterday to this question. Unfortunately, I can't use it. Maybe I'll post it on Substack as a text post with pictures. Is there a chance, tarot, that Donald Trump might try to declare martial law at any point in this administration or in this presidency, in his term? Let's see. All right, we got the fast movements. We've got focusing on himself. And we've got the world. And I think right off the bat, this is kind of a convoluted answer to the question because, obviously with the staffs or the wands, we've got speed, movement, and that might kind of seem like a yes. But then we've got this energy over here, the Page of Wands, someone who is on to a new adventure, someone who is very focused on themselves right now. And that sounds just like Donald Trump. Trump is always focused on himself. So I think what really we can take away from this is with Trump being so focused on what he wants in the moment, how do I put this? Right now, Trump is very focused on himself and all these new adventures that he's taking on very quickly. And in a lot of readings, I'm getting that he is a little bit overwhelmed. He would never admit it and he would never let on like it. But Trump's got too many irons in the fire. That came out multiple times yesterday in my scrapped reading. Unfortunately, this is a really good one. But he's got too much going on and a lot of things are happening too fast. And as far as the whole martial law thing, I think the reason we're seeing the world here is because most people don't know this, but at the end of his first term, he tried to declare martial law. So I think what the world card is here to tell us is that that's a closed case because we have the closed circle completion. This is a situation that can't be revisited, basically. Let's draw a few more cards just for shiggles, I guess, just to kind of like see if tarot can reinforce the idea. Tarot, give us a little bit more insight on Donald Trump and martial law. And again, remember, guys, this is not a realistic thing that will happen on April 20th. Maybe never. Like he may, I don't think that he actually can do it at all, but whatever. We'll just see what tarot has to say about it. I'm going to stop there. Something says stop there. So there is a sense here of saying one thing but doing another. There are things that I think they're telling him to keep close to, keep it close. Don't let these things out. There's a verbal element to this, where the character, he is focusing very much on the illusion of the moon. So I feel like there is a don't tell, don't ask, don't tell situation. And then on the side, there is the energy of physical violence, physical action. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's still very much a no, but I think we may see something similar to it. There may be something. I don't think that it'll escalate. So I don't think that this is really referring to martial law, but there is something that they're telling him to keep close to his chest and don't let it out, that is a big ask of Donald Trump. If you pay any attention to what he talks about, he tells everything he knows. So there's kind of this sense of hidden physical violence energy. There may be something, I'm kind of getting the feeling that this has to do with the protests. I don't think that he really liked the protests very much, just based on other readings and stuff. And I think that he's considering something to do with the protests, but it's not going to be martial law. That's too big. That's out of reach for him this time around, I'm pretty sure. So, but we'll have to see. We'll have to do maybe like a whole reading on the protests and stuff. And yeah, so I can't find any other questions for some reason. YouTube has kind of a little bit of a habit of hiding comments here and there. There was some I had saved, but I don't know where they're at now. Let's see. So if I missed a question, feel free to ask it again, and I will definitely get it into like the next video. So we're going to stop there. And also, I just need a break to get some coffee or something. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Anything you want me to cover, anything you want me to talk about. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.